So I've had several comments on multiple art-related videos of people asking me about time management and art. And I think it's a great question. It's a great topic to discuss. Where do you find the time to make art? How do you manage your time when creating art? You might not like the answer, but this is my answer. This is what I've done in order to develop the skill to be a competent artist. And I mean, creating art, getting better at any art, whatever it is, drawing, painting, singing, dancing, pottery, sewing, cooking, gardening, playing an instrument, writing, whatever your chosen art is. In order to get better at it, you need to commit time to it. And it's often the case where people say, but I just don't have the time. Well, that's just not true. You might not have the energy, so you think, but you always have the time. And it's how you direct your time that's going to set you up for success or failure in the long run. I don't want to sound platitudinal in this, but it really comes down to the way you direct yourself and your time when you've actually got it. It's so easy to fall into the trap of doing anything else that doesn't require effort. And when I say that, I mean passively watching TV, playing video games, just lounging, just laying back. Anything can be a distraction, to be honest. I mean, you could be perfecting a drawing skill while procrastinating doing your homework. I mean, I'll admit, I actually did that when I was in university. There were times when I would procrastinate by working diligently at my art to mitigate the stress of multiple papers I had to do or passages to read. And it's not that it never got into the way of my academic success, but I knew exactly what I was doing. And I still think it was worth doing because it was definitely better than sitting in front of the TV or, again, just playing video games that provided me zero fruitful outcome. I'm so glad that I never abandoned drawing because it kept the creativity alive in my spirit. It's a muscle that you have to keep alive. So I made sure I found the time to put into it, even if I shirked other responsibilities in that moment. Now, I'm not saying you should abandon critical responsibilities. That would be insane. But, when you have the time at the end of the day, let's say you've done your job, 8 hours of some grindy job, and you're feeling exhausted. I'm sure you would be, as anybody would be. And the last thing you want to do is now begin your artistic journey, committing every last ounce of energy you've got towards doing it. But here's the thing. Just like with exercise, you might not feel like you have the energy before you begin, but once you begin, you will find that power inside of you, and you'll be able to commit to it and stick with it. And you'll find after, I'd say, a month, I think for most people it's about 90 days, you'll start to really incorporate that activity as a habit that you just continue to do no matter what. No matter how tired you feel or how lethargic you might feel, it becomes almost like second nature. But you have to push past the feeling of, I'm really not sure what word to use. It's not laziness. It might be fear. It might just be, whatever label you want to slap onto it. Exhaustion, lethargy, boredom, whatever label. The labels don't matter. These words don't matter. It's just, you want to do this. You don't feel like you can, or you don't have the time, but you're using that time to do other things that aren't fruitful, that don't take you further. You got to take it. You got to take that time. You got to use it. And then you got to commit with that time you now have found that you have. Everyone's got at least an hour a day. Everyone's got at least 20 minutes a day to commit to something of true interest. And I think it's important that you, again, how do you start? Start small. Start with spend 5 minutes doing something that's interesting. You want to learn how to draw? Just spend 5 to 10 minutes, just 5. Okay, I'm trying to stretch it out a little bit more for you, but just start with 5 and see what you can get up to. See what it's like, just that 5 minutes, then extend it maybe another 5 minutes. Try to make it up to half an hour, and then set a time where you'll just sit down and commit to doing that activity. Again, whatever it is, playing an instrument, practicing, cooking, sewing, anything that is skillful. And as you can kind of see the pattern here, using your hands, it's kind of a lost art for human beings these days in the West. I'd argue that we're just not using our hand. The mind-hand connection is possibly being lost on generations of people, because a lot of the activities we're engaged in nowadays don't really require any of that. That might be a reason why I'm still, partially a reason why I'm still committed to working out as I do, because it's just that the body is in use, the hands are in use, and it's that connection that just, it makes you feel alive. And I absolutely get that feeling when I'm drawing. So I willingly choose to pour as much time into a project in one sitting as I actually can. And it's not easy, of course, if you've got a job, if you've got responsibilities, wife, kids, husband, spouse, partner, you're looking after children, you need to be focused in all of these directions. But something like drawing, where you need a moment of deep, concentrated focus, you got to take it. You have to take it and commit to it. It's like reading a book. You can't read a book if 5 people are trying to have a conversation with you. You have to take that time out to perform that activity. So it really is. It's a matter of, in a sense, being selfish with your time, but you shouldn't think of it that way. You are choosing to be the director of your life and your time so that you can enhance a skill that you've always wanted to enhance. And again, whatever that particular skill is. When it comes to art, the more time you put into it, the more you're going to get out of it. Truly, especially if you're striving to get better every time you commit to drawing. If you drew something, let's say you drew a skeleton and it didn't look very good, you might turn to an anatomy textbook next to try and brush up on and reference in your next drawing so that you can learn how to make that drawing better. Little things like that over time are just going to make you that much better as an artist. With cooking, you might try different ingredients, different ratios of ingredients, whatever it takes to perfect the cuisine you're trying to cook. This is how you get better. And all of that requires time committed to the art. So I hope you guys got something out of this. It's all about commitment and, in a sense, being selfish, but in a wholesome way, I'd argue, because it's helping you become a better, stronger, not only artist, but human being, because you are now learning how to, again, be in charge of yourself and your destiny. And that's really all I've got to say on that. I'm sure I'll make a video in the future regarding this topic, but this is kind of my approach, and this is how you figure it out. You've got to figure it out. You've got to try it. Just try it. See what happens. You guys have a great one. I'll catch you next time. Cheers.